Rain had fallen the night before her burial. Heavy rain. The kind that turned red clay roads into slippery trails and soaked the village of Umuozala in an eerie silence. The morning air carried the scent of wet earth and something heavier, something bitter and unresolved. By dawn, the compound of the late Mama Ejimofor was full of villagers. Not mourners. Just people. Curious eyes. Whispering mouths. No one cried. Even her only son, Ejimofor, stood by the grave with dry eyes and clenched fists. He didn't weep. He didn't even bow his head as the priest murmured his final blessings. The white cloth wrapped around her frail body slowly disappeared into the red-brown earth. The sound of sand hitting the coffin echoed around the compound like a judge's gavel. But this wasn't justice. It was routine. Formality. An ending without peace. Ejimofor said nothing. His silence wasn't grief. It was fury. It was the weight of 20 years of truth, never spoken, now threatening to choke him. Back when he was a boy, the compound buzzed with laughter and prestige. Chief Obinna's house was the pride of Umuozala. His first wife, Mama Ejimofor, carried herself with dignity that bordered on arrogance. Her voice could silence a gathering. Her stare could freeze blood. The women feared her. The men respected her. But no one loved her. Rumors followed her like a shadow. Some said she tied the chief to her waist using charms buried in the backyard. Others claimed the madness of the second wife was no coincidence. But none dared say it out loud. Power in Umuozala was a sacred thing. Especially when it came wrapped in wrappers of wealth and mystery. Then came Aurora. She was 16, from the neighboring village of Obelidu. Sent by her poor mother to serve in the chief's household as a maid. Her beauty was quiet. Soft eyes, warm smile, a gentleness rare in this world. Too rare. Mama Ejimofor noticed. Too early. Too sharply. Fix your wrapper well, she barked at her one morning. You're not here to shake waist. Aurora nodded. She always nodded. Never talked back. Never made trouble. But her silence made her even more noticeable. Especially to Chief Obinna. It started with errands. Then gifts. Then long nights where the chief would call her into his chamber under the guise of helping with documents. Everyone in the compound knew. But no one said a word. Even Mama Ejimofor. Until one night, Aurora vanished. No goodbye. No farewell. No trace. At dawn, Mama Ejimofor gathered the household with rage in her eyes and a broken jewelry box in her hand. She stole from me, she cried. My gold necklace, gone. People searched. The villagers combed the bush. The chief said nothing. Just sat under the mango tree, staring into space like a man whose soul had wandered off. The next day, Adeora's mother came weeping, barefoot, begging for her child. But she was sent away with warnings and threats. Your daughter is a thief. Don't disgrace yourself. But Ejimofor remembered the scream. One night before Aurora disappeared, he had heard it. A short, sharp scream that was quickly muffled. He'd crept from his room and seen the flicker of a lantern behind the backyard shrine. Then nothing. Years passed. No one spoke her name again. Until now. After the burial, people ate. They drank. They told stories that didn't matter. The kind of stories people tell to cover guilt. But Ejimofor left them. He walked past the compound, past the old yam barn, into the forest path where silence felt honest. Ngozi, his wife, ran after him. "Iji, people will talk. Let them. At least pretend. She was your mother." He turned. "That woman died the day Adaora disappeared. Today we buried what was left." She stood frozen as he vanished into the trees. The same trees Adaora once ran through. Or was dragged through. No one knew. That night, while others snored from the weight of food and cheap palm wine, Ejimofor returned to the grave. The soil was still fresh. He knelt beside it, touched the earth with one hand, and whispered, "I know what you did." The wind stirred. Leaves rustled. "I know who Adaora was. I know she wasn't a thief. And I know how she died." Silence. Then a low, distant sound. Like something shifting underground. Maybe the roots. Maybe something more. Ejimofor stood slowly. Something had changed. The grave wasn't just a resting place now. It was a secret waiting to rise. The woman they had buried didn't just take her last breath. She took a truth that refused to stay silent. And now, the truth was waking up.